All right, so on my way to the office, I met Honorable Mukondo, and I thought of taking advantage so that we can look at one or two issues pertaining to national development, and I thought we could have one or two, one-on-one discussions. And he's with me. Honorable, thank you so much. Good morning.
Thank you, thank you. How are you?
I'm very fine. Good to see you. I can see you're geared to get to the office.
Yes, geared for office. You know, it's always important that we try to bring food on the table all the time.
Let's begin by something that I think you and I have discussed at length. Really, this year it has characterized much of our discussions. The COVID-19. Zambia did very well in the first phase. I think we saw the figures really here and there, but overall, I think we performed well as a country. And now we're looking at the second wave, and it has already started visiting African countries, latest being South Africa. They've already, initiated, partial lockdown. What do you think so far?
You know, I think following the earliest statement, is it the latest statement from our head of state, one Edgar Chagwalungu, where he has expressed concern that it's like you have put the measures down, and we seem not to be faring well. We are comfortable, and then we have taken things for granted. I think as leaders, this is timely that we should do not relent. We should not stop having that alert mind against this COVID-19. As you know, in the United States and the country which you have spoken about, South Africa, it's still wreaking havoc. And you know, this disease, it's not sparing anyone. And for us, we should continue practicing what our head of state and then also the organization for World Health, what it has been preaching. So basically, let us continue wearing a mask, and then also making sure that those who are taking their children to various schools, they continue practicing the same measures that we have been taught to observe. Otherwise, we also most likely going to, what happened in July, it was a big wave, and we lost almost 2 members of parliament against the same COVID-19. And if we look at the predicament in which we are, this is the rain season, and these droplets, and they will continue, the transmission will increase. So basically, we were telling our friends out there, everyone, this is not a battle that we should take lightly. It's a battle that is taking lives, and it has taken a lot of lives in South Africa. And then places like the UK, where they have now 2 predicaments, and that is the Brexit, and then the other one, it's the COVID itself. You find that even the transportation of supplies, it has been badly affected. So basically, we're appealing to our people, let us jack up our efforts towards this fight.
I agree. Lately, how would you describe people's attitudes towards COVID-19?
It's very sad, my brother, especially that it's like we have taken it for granted. We think we have that special favor from God, and we have that special maybe covering, or is it some protection, which is not happening to other nations. But we shouldn't take that one for granted. We should in fact, thank God, and we should continue practicing the same standard which I've been talking about, and that is social distancing, and then making sure that we are covering ourselves with the same mask. So basically, the way we are behaving as Zambians, it's unfortunate. It's like there's nothing that is happening. The mindset has continued being that one of laissez-faire. So we are appealing to everyone that let us remember that the new normal, it does not mean that we have to forget about the wearing of masks. So if you go into town, it's very disappointing how everybody has gone forgetting completely that we are in this predicament. So we are appealing to our people that let's remember that we are in this predicament. And it's only that we can be comfortable, especially with the coming in of, is it the immune system, or is it the ones which have been started being rolled out in the USA? So basically, we shouldn't be comfortable. We need to protect our children. We need to protect ourselves, and we need to continue speaking the same. And I think we need to drag in also the church. The church has to play a special role, a very critical role into this, so that once every Sunday, the pastors, the preacher men, they can continue emphasizing on the same situation we are in. Otherwise, generally, the scenario is very sad. It's very sad.
So currently, as we speak, the country is hitting about 20,000 cases for Zambia, but South Africa has already entered what is now being called the second wave of COVID-19, which has affected the United States, Russia, and of course other African countries as well. So Zambia will not be exempted if at all we let our guard down. We have to do our best to make sure that, you know, we are not affected by this the second wave of COVID-19. Maybe for the sake of emphasis, if Zambia is affected, what could be the repercussion of Zambia being affected by the second wave of COVID-19?
You know, the repercussions are very huge, especially that as we are going towards the 2021 general election, it will mean everything will be in disarray. It will mean the population, those who have been registered 6.4, the figures won't be the same. You know, in the United States of America, they hit over 300,000, is it 305,000? And that's unfortunate because we are talking about lives. So if it happened here in Zambia, it will affect even the governance of this nation, the productivity of this nation, the economic aspect of it as a nation. So basically, it will also affect even the religious life. For those who are going to church, they will stop going to church again. For those who are going into different localities, is it different areas, it will mean that we need again to start closing these areas. You find that they will be restricted. The way it happened in Nakonde, almost Nakonde witnessed almost a 1 month lockdown. So we wouldn't want that to happen. It will affect our economic life, it will affect our social life, it will affect our religious life. So basically, we are appealing to our people that let's change our behavior. Let us not think that this is exceptional. Ourselves, we are so special. It is not happening here because of this and that. No. Let us continue practicing the international guidelines. Let us continue observing the healthy guidelines that have been championed by our leaders and then also the international organizations.
There have been calls for ECZ to extend the voter registration, and well, ECZ sat down, listened to the calls of people, and did announce an extension of about 4 days to the voter registration. As a civic leader, as a citizen of this country, and of course as a concerned citizen as well, what do you make up of the extension?
First and foremost, may I congratulate the ECZ for achieving such a milestone. You know, they had given us a huge, a target, and that was 9 million, and which is very much commendable, and they have achieved 6.4. So basically, for ECZ to achieve 6.4, especially that you are talking about achieving this result in a pandemic like this, in an environment where there is COVID, it's a great achievement. And you know, we are appealing to other stakeholders that let us support our ECZ, and it's better we do it now. The 4 days, you know, we have the COVID environment also. We have to reduce ourselves, the risk of coming together for a longer period. I think the 4 days is enough. We can see that everyone comes together, and then we forget about this exercise. We forge ahead, we look for another democratization process that we are awaiting. It could be the verification of the same register, and then also we start preparing for the printing also, which there are a lot of processes. But for the time being, I think they have achieved the 6.4 in 30 days. And I think, you know, this Zambian mentality, which we are against as a ruling party, that one of the 11th hour, we are appealing to everybody that let's use these 4 days in a way that will let everybody register. And then also, we are appealing also to the Electoral Commission of Zambia that in case we have 2 million people who will come within these 4 days, we are asking that they should put some provisionary hours. Not the way they had just said, you know, Saturday has come, we are registering, we have closed. We said closed. Would mean we are going to disenfranchise a lot of our voters out there. So there is need for the Electoral Commission to also come up with some roadmap whereby if we still have large numbers to register, even on the 11th hour, is it to even on the actual day, the Saturday, they should allow those people to provisionally to continue registering, so that at the end of the day we can achieve even the same number which they wanted. You may find that we can even achieve maybe even 10 million.
So we're looking at 4 days here, and we're looking at registering more than 3,000 people for us to hit the mark of 9 million.
9 million.
Do you think this 4 days is enough for us to register the 3 million people that we need?
I think it's enough, because if you look at, especially that the Central Statistics came in, they have adjusted the number to 8.4, to which the Electoral Commission, being an independent body, they have agreed also to the same number, 8.4, which is a little bit now, we are talking about maybe, is it almost 2 million target. If you look at the first time they were starting it, people were lazing around. We had 1 million, we moved to 1 million, we moved, eventually we had almost close to 2 million, and then another 2 million. I think they can achieve this number. It's achievable, and it's just a matter of encouraging our fellow brothers out there that let's go out in numbers so that we participate into this democratization process. And we must tell our people it's not the only process that we are going through. It's just the beginning. So basically, let us give a pack to the Electoral Commission for coming out so good as achievers. So basically, for me, and also as the Patriotic Front, we are urging our people to come out in large numbers so that we register, and then we start waiting for the voting day.
I agree. Let's finally, Honorable, before I can allow you to drive off, let's look at the recent Concord decision, returning something that has been ongoing, the issue of ministers who stayed in court when the dissolution of Parliament happened, and they continued, getting paid for that particular period. They were called illegal in the office, and now the Concord has decided that they have to pay the money that they got paid in between that time, and have to pay it in 30 days. Just what is your take on the Concord's decision? Well,
I think our leadership has already demonstrated leadership. The head of state himself, he has spoken to the minister that all of you have to pay back. The general secretary of our party has echoed the same statement. And I think all the people that has been spoken to, especially the minister themselves, they have accepted the decision. This is maturity. And for us, we are also encouraging our friends that, the Concord, it's a new child in our midst. And as such, we must embrace it. And the decision that it will be making, the judgment that it has been making, we have to embrace them. It has been, in existence for less than 4 years. And if you look at some of the milestone judgment that it has come out with, they are very much effective, and they have been changing lives so far. But it's important that also the opposition, the way we have welcomed it, we have set a precedent that these decisions which have been made by the Concord, they must be adhered to. Look, in 2016, over the 14 days, when they interpreted the law to our opposition friends who lost at that time, they came out to this very day, they have never accepted that judgment over the 14 days. And then when it came to Mativini versus Chimbakambwiri, we accepted. And also the Speaker of National Assembly accepted. And then when it comes to now the eligibility of our President Juan Edgar Chagwa Lungu, the Concord has come up with a decision. The way we have accepted this one over the emolument, it's the same way we are encouraging our friends in the opposition to accept the decisions or the judgment of the Concord. So for us as the Patriotic Front, we're encouraging our friends out there that it's now the Concord will be making decisions on our mandates when it comes to constitutional matters. And whether you are a president of a political party, you are a Republican president, you are a minister, you need to follow the same decision. So basically, no matter how painful it is. So for us, we have experienced the pain. So we are following, whether we want it or not, we have to follow. We have set a precedent of abiding citizens.
That's what governance is all about. It's about respecting the decision, no matter how painful it is, that the courts of law definitely make. And in this case, all those ministers who are supposed to make that particular payment, they have to, no matter how painful that decision is. So far, we recently we saw where, you know, DP President Hari Kalaba definitely made his dues, paid his dues to the Treasury. He has set the tone. Hopefully that everybody will be able to do that. Honorable, thank you so much for your time. And obviously there are other pertinent issues that we might want to touch in and
Yes,
there,
yes.
but allow me not to get much of your time. You have to get to the office.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I'm humbled.
Please.
Thank you, thank you.